I am DeLauren Larry. The first time I experienced sexual abuse, it was in the car outside of my great grandma's house. And the second time was in my apartment. Being sexually abused, I feel like was a layer to all my other emotions. My dad was killed by my brother when I was 15. So when I got sexually abused like a few years before then, I think it really impacted my relationships with my family, how I viewed sex in general. When it happened again when I was 20, I think it was a lot more confusing, but also reflective. It was confusing because I never imagined that I'd find myself in that situation again. And I felt like the reason why I got raped at first, and I was very unwilling to reach out to anybody about it. I didn't tell my mom until about 6 months after. I waited like a week and a half to tell my sister and my mentor. I just didn't want anybody to think that I was promiscuous because I felt like it was my fault. It impacted me overall though, because it helped me understand myself better. I was in so much pain, and I'm the type of person that really deals with my vulnerabilities on my own. And it was the first time I'd ever looked at myself like a version of my younger self and gave myself that type of love. And it was also a time where I was trying to figure out myself and my perspectives and things like that. It impacted the way I saw fear as well. I became much more anxious immediately after and fearful of everything, a lot of self-doubt and insecurity, because I felt like if this was gonna happen, something else in my life could happen to possibly throw me off my whole routine. And it scared me. I didn't want to pursue anything else. I didn't want to do much. I just wanted to sit in that moment, cry for a while. But overall, after I did a lot of reflecting, it gave me a sense of peace. It made me realize that no matter what happened to me, I'd be fine because I'm home within myself. I offer myself love that nobody else can give me. So it helped me reach a different understanding of myself. The first time it happened, it was with my cousin. I pushed it down for years. Not until the year that I got raped was I like, okay, I think I was sexually assaulted as a kid, because I never viewed it as sexual assault. For me, I was just doing something bad with my cousin. Sex was bad, you know? And we weren't having sex, but we were interacting sexually. And it also really embarrassed me. I'm like, isn't this incest? So for a really, really long time, I just like shoved it down. And when I turned 20, the dude it happened with, I'd invited him over. I welcomed him into my space. The way it worked up to rape was very like slow. At first, we were just hanging out. I thought we were friends. And then he was like, give me a chance. And I'm like, okay, I could give you a chance. I'd love to go on a date with you. That'd be nice. We started kissing. Then we took our clothes off and I told him I didn't want to have sex. He was like, okay. And I'm like, okay, maybe we'll just do oral or something like that. And then it happened. And I was very confused at first. I didn't say no. I think that's why I felt like it was my fault. Ever since I'd gotten assaulted when I was a child, when I started interacting with men sexually, I never felt like I had a voice. I never asserted myself. I never told men what I liked, what I didn't like. The experience of sex was in order to please another. And I'd always wanted sex to be pleasurable for me. I think that's why I continued to interact within sex, hoping that I could get to this point where like, when I have sex with somebody, it'll feel open, it'll feel communicative, it'll feel intimate. But I'd always struggled with asserting myself. So in the moment, I didn't say anything. It finishes, it's over, and I tell him that I didn't want to have sex again. And he tells me that he didn't know. that he was sorry. And I was like, you should leave. And he left, and I destroyed all the evidence. I washed my sheets, took a shower. Not till a week later did I realize the reason why I couldn't let go of the feeling of being violated is because I was. And that's when I finally started reaching out for help. The first person I ran to was my mentor. Sorry. It was really hard at first. I'm sorry. The first person I ran to was my mentor. I was so embarrassed because, like I said, it felt like my fault the whole time. I felt like I'd welcomed myself to that interaction. So when I told her I really didn't want to, I thought she would see me different. And she didn't. That's why I'm crying. These aren't sad tears. They're happy tears. She told me she had the same type of experience in college and how it impacted her. And it opened me up to tell my sister, to start telling other people. That's when I reached out to USF's victim advocacy. They were able to let me know the things that USF provides, what they offer, as well as what I could do legally with the situation. I was so upset because, like I said, I destroyed all the evidence not even an hour after he left. And a week later, I find out that the evidence has been destroyed. For a while, I deleted our text messages, I blocked him, all just to forget that the experience happened. So I never ended up pressing charges with him, but that's when I finally opened up. After telling my mentor, after reaching out to USF victim advocacy, because I just realized like I couldn't do things that I could normally do. I remember I went on a walk and I turned around maybe a block into the walk because I was filled with this sense that everybody knew that I'd just gotten raped and nobody cared. And I just turned as promiscuous, or I perceived myself as entering into that situation for me. I put myself in that situation. I thought that I wasn't redeemable. I felt like it was my fault and I had to sit with the feeling, but your experience doesn't have to stop there. You can continue to learn more about yourself through your pain. It sounds really hard because it is, but it's so rewarding. You get a different version of yourself once you open yourself up to the things that are vulnerable and painful. For allies, I would say stay accountable. Don't be a bystander to sexual abuse. You know a friend that sexually abuses other people, or you see sexual abuse, you say something, because sometimes people are like me. They think that they deserve that experience, or they think that they put themselves in that position. When really that's not true. Everybody can do something about it. The advice that I have, and I hate giving advice, because personally, I didn't reach out to anybody when it first happened. I sat a lot with the feeling that it gave me, and it made me feel like asking for help wasn't possible. So the advice that I would give is to find anybody, and especially people that work within victims advocacy. They have this special attuneness to these experiences, and they can offer you at the very least understanding if you're not willing to press charges or anything like that. Another piece of advice I would give is to be patient with yourself and to be patient with your experiences, because you require that patience in order to grow. I am DeLauren Larry, and I am a survivor, not a victim.
How do you feel right now?
Good. Cathartic.
Such an interesting word to use.